Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NDM Podcast, where we bring together notorious disruptive minds who represent the best business leaders within their respective industries. These guests will tell you about professional and personal insights and the latest industry trends. My name is Nicholas Falcone. I'll be one of your hosts today, and I'm the CEO of NDM Hospitality and Rental Resorts. At NDM Hospitality, we provide management services in the spaces of long-term rental homes, apartments, retail, entertainment, and food and beverage. And our fastest growing business, Rental Resorts, is providing branding, management, and consulting services on how to develop and bring to life residential resorts all around the world. I'm joined here by my co-host, my partner, and my brother, also the COO of our companies, Matthew Falcone. And we're excited to kick this off and have a great show. Joe, what about you? Have you always been a creator, or what might they like to do it?
I've been creating stuff since I'm a little kid. So I love my last.
Consistent throughout.
It's consistent. Yeah, I invented my first product when I was 15 years old.
Wow.
Actually 16. I was making fake IDs. I didn't know how to make them. I knew how to actually determine whether they were real or your clients. I made a ton of them. They were nice. It was great. So I started a business I did this a JMID chart when I was going into college. And then when I was second year of law school, I created a product that detected radiation.
Wow.
Began for microwave ovens and launched a business by the time I was in third year law school.
What was the first patent? When did that happen?
The first patent I had was on my microwave oven radiation leakage detector. That was in 2000. No, I'm sorry. That was in 1989.
Wow.
AI is going to overtake those jobs, but I think a lot of more the entry level or the more mundane type of part of the job. So like policy checking and, quote checking and all these other things that AI can do in 10 minutes extremely well.
Yeah.
Is going to kind of start streamlining the labor side of what we do.
Coming into the workplace, working alongside of the people that you're supposed to be working with on a daily basis. To your point, if you're a younger person and all you want to do is work from home, you're going to have a lot less of a chance in order to continue your growth and be able to learn things, at the capacity that, some people want to learn and want to be able to grow.
I got to get Joe's perspective on this topic, work from home. Joe, I know you're a little more old school, so what's your thoughts on this?
So I'm going to tell you guys something.
Yeah.
Here's a little secret, okay? When COVID rolled around and everybody was forced to leave the house, leave the office and work from home, our workflow actually went down to it dropped by 70-80%.
Wow.
So I had everybody bring their laptops in and we put tracking software on there because I called people from customer service. They were not taking calls. And we found out that literally 70 to 80% of the people that working from home weren't doing anything. They just didn't know how to do it, right?
Yeah.
I'm great at it because I work anywhere in the world, which I've always, you give me a laptop and a telephone and I'm ready to go. But most people really do, just their work ethic really doesn't hold up.
Yeah. And that's the
Too many distractions.
Yeah. It probably could work, but a lot of people ruin it. I think for the people that are, doing it the right way. So it's unfortunate. But
well, there's certain people that really are great at it, right?
Yeah. Oh.
I loved having different locations. Like when I was doing my last business, I was on QVC all the time.
Yeah.
So I would fly from my office in Florida and I'd fly up every week and I have a house and a building up there. And I would literally work better from my house in Florida, in Pennsylvania than I would in my office in Miramar.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a lot more productive because I would work 12, 14 hours a day, like nothing.
Yeah.
Sitting there writing scripts, creating scripts for a TV show or writing business plans or creating new products or whatever. And it worked great for me, but for most people, it really doesn't.
Well, I feel like for an entrepreneur too, it's just sometimes it's good to have no distractions and you can just go and knock out what you got to do. So
exactly,
especially as an inventor.
Definitely.
Yep.
So just going into, just your overall industry, obviously you've been an inventor for a long time, from when you first started, when you were a little kid, to now, what has kind of changed, to, be able to really be able to create something? What's the process, behind it, and what has changed since you've been a little kid?
You talking in general in terms of bringing an invention?
Yeah, just bringing an invention to the,
I think AI helped. Art brought up a point earlier. It's a huge advantage because you can get customer data information. You can get analysis, literally ChatGPT or any of the AI interface. I use ChatGPT literally all day long. Right? I could do research. I could find out suppliers that I need for a new SKU that we're launching and testing results and and market data and what the opportunities are, what barriers to entry for a product is, what pricing structures should be, or pricing strategies, merchandising. I mean, everything. When you think about launching a product, right? So we launched products at Home Depot. We had 44 SKUs there in my last business. And right now we have 7 SKUs, I'm sorry. And this is in the last year. But, we can go in there and say, hey, give me a cross section of what a competitive analysis looks like in a product, because you want to make sure a product is priced properly, that it's promoted properly, it's merchandised properly, right? The 3 Ps. So it gives us a tremendous advantage where we don't have to labor through it anymore as much. But we still do. I mean, you still look at everything. I have to still think about things because I don't want to rely 100% on a computer that may or may not be 100% on par.
And I think that's the biggest thing I always hear is, it's not quite far enough along. You mentioned it too, the hallucinations or whatnot of the AI. I think, obviously that will change over time. But one thing we were talking about on a previous episode, and it really resonates with what you're saying, is that the next, iteration, in my opinion, of where all this is going to go is predictive analytics. So a lot of what you're talking about is historical data. What are competitors doing? What's kind of pricing maybe today? But what I love about where it's going is, you aggregate all this data and it's going to be able to tell you, here's what the expected trends are in the future and give recommendations, which I think is just exciting. I'm a data guy. I love being able to use that information to kind of get ahead of the game. Especially, one thing that we look at it in is the marketing space. How do you get the biggest ROAS from your marketing dollars? And, what would you do to maximize that? We're starting to see that AI could give you the answers, which is
it does actually.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And you say predictive analysis, like we knew we put in models. What if I reduce the price from $99 on our kit, our installation kit, the 3-month kit for IFlow down to $89 or $79? And we've done it before, so we know what the numbers are already. And I'll just punch it in. I didn't tell AI what it is. It's pretty damn close. It's pretty accurate. So I know that, in Prime right now, where our sales are up 300% over the last 24 hours. Wow. Just by doing a $10 price point drop. And, and I think outside of Prime, I didn't ask what it would do with Prime, but it said it'd be up like 18% or something like that. And it's up 3x. So
that's amazing. Yeah.
So it's not 100% on par, but I didn't feed that data in there.
That's amazing. Yeah. I mean, it's super exciting to see where it's going. And, it's kind of a follow-up to Matt's question, specifically, he was asking about the process, let's call it, the changes that have occurred in inventing something. What other changes have you seen throughout your career? Major changes or trends that have just really gone completely, different since you started?
I don't think there's been, there's a lot of inventions out there, right? There's a lot of ideas out there that some of them become inventions, some of them don't. But, from our standpoint, I mean, you think about what you actually have to go through, what the journey is, right? We come up with an idea, you vet it with your friends. Hey, what do you think of this? Is it something that, is it a problem that you deal with? And kind of try to vet it out. And then you basically, once you say you get a positive response, then you're looking to see what the competitive analysis looks like. Going back to AI again, you would have to spend months digging through patents and doing patent searches and hiring attorneys and doing data searches in Google and looking in libraries in microfiche back when I came up with my first invention. Everything's accelerated now, right? I could punch in there. I can ask back to ChatGPT or Sidecar or whatever it is, and then just start asking information. Is there a product out there like this? What's the patent looks like? And does this look like it infringes on something? Is this patentable? And you can cut through a lot of the red tape that you would normally be up against or a barrier of entry, because it gets expensive. I mean, patent attorneys, the average patent they say costs, $7,000. It's actually not the case. I have some patents. I've spent $1.5 million already plus on IFlow. And on other patents, I made a mop called the Click and Clean with Rejuvenate, which is like takes a bottle and converts it to a cartridge and it goes inside. I spent $85,000 on that one patent, and that one patent became 5 patents, and all of a sudden my portfolio cost me $200,000. You know what I mean? Yep. And but right now using AI and stuff, it helps keep costs in line, and it really does replace, like Art said earlier, the labor aspect of it. Because you can get information a lot faster and do it more effectively. Within 10 minutes, I can get something done. It would take me probably a month and cost me $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on something done.
What about buying trends? I'm assuming as people have bought more online, less retail. I'm assuming it's trend.
There's a huge shift.
So like, what did that look like maybe when you first started, versus now? Like, what percentage of your sales come online versus brick and mortar?
It depends what kind of SKU it is, right? So cleaning products were predominantly brick and mortar. And when you're in IT, like with IFlow is an IT product because it's a smart connected product, the sales at Amazon are much stronger than they are at brick and mortar.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is kind of like, not something that we've ever experienced before. And I think it's changing. And obviously, HomeDepots.com has been competing very well in that space. And the sales at .com have gone through the roof.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy that people are walking into the stores and, it's rather, I love going to Home Depot when people go there to shop they're in the middle of a project. They're not going to wait for a hammer to come through, Amazon or something because they want to go there and get the whole project done. But you do see some shifting, but it's based upon product mix.
I'm sorry. One more. I'm fascinated in learning more about, that. I'm wondering if what I see in my household is what you see in your data. And what I mean by that is I would probably say I can count on one hand how many times I've ordered something online, whereas I could probably say my wife will get that number of packages in a day from Amazon.
That's true. Same thing with my house.
The difference in demographic of online purchases versus brick and mortar based on gender?
We see, females definitely buy more than men online, right?
Yep.
They're definitely more online shoppers. Guys like to touch and feel and look at something and hold something. There's no question about it. But, I think definitely is a gender play.
Yeah.
I definitely think. I think it's also an age play, right? My mother likes to go to a store. She's 83, 84 years old now. To me, if I know what the product is already, I'll get it on Amazon.
Yeah.
Because it's just more convenient.
Trusted.
But it depends where I am. If I'm like Key's house, and Amazon takes 3 days to get there, I'll go into Publix or a Walgreens or a Home Depot, depending what kind of SKU it is.
Yeah.
What kind of product it is. But I'm in Weston, where I get Amazon shows up in an hour later. I mean, I'm just going for time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so obviously Amazon is, I would imagine your biggest, where the majority of your business is coming from. Before Amazon, what was, kind of the focus in order to really get the, the revenue? Was it more brick and mortar? Was it? It was
all, depends what kind of products. So I've launched over 300 SKUs, 300 different products that I've invented. Fans, air cleaners, ionizers. I own the patents on the electrostatic precipitator, which is a fancy name to say an ionizer, a little plug-in ionizers that electrify the air and pull it in. So we did a tremendous amount of volume with QVC. I've done $13-14 million in a day on one SKU at QVC. 14 million is my record, actually.
That's amazing.
In one day, which did it there today's special value. That was, to me, by far the biggest opportunity and to move a product.
Yeah.
I mean, we still place you can go $14 million.
Yeah.
Like zero. Yeah. I mean, Amazon, Home Depot, any place. I don't heard of $14 million.
That's amazing. Yeah.
I was doing $1 million a month on a little plug-in air cleaner I was selling for $19.99.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'd work for 2 days. From Friday to Sunday, I'd go on air maybe 8 times, and I'd do $1 million a month in profit for me, in my pocket.
I would love to know if anyone's ever done 14 million in a day on QVC. That's got to be up there. I mean, that's incredible.
It's up there. I mean, I think Jamie Siminoff, my buddy from Ring, has done those numbers. I think he did like 24 million or something, but it's Ring.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But
it's funny because like with Amazon, I don't even remember what life was like before Amazon. It's the same thing. My wife, I have packages showing up to my house like every single day.
Your foyer becomes a storefront of round boxes, it's like bags, right?
Yeah. It's like what would people do before Amazon? Like when you had to go out and get stuff. It's funny to think, but
that's amazing.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, it really is. It is.
Sorry, I'm going to bring it back to you, and we're going to change gears a little bit more, getting the audience to know you from a personal level. Sure. Tell us a fun fact about Artie Zimmerman.
Fun fact.
And we're putting you on the spot. Joe gets to think about it a little bit here.
Sure. Like personal or anything?
Anything.
My wife just surprised me with twins, and that's
hey, congratulations.
That's not 1 and 2. That's 3 and 4. So that's a fun fact.
Join on the 4-kid club with this on over here.
Nick and I are on the same page there.
You will do great.
On a business standpoint, I would say just learning to enjoy the process, especially when the last 5 years, I really had to refocus how I was viewing a lot of things, because I not only was still career focused, but like then family started, I had my kids and now more kids and houses and so on. But, if you don't learn to enjoy the ups and downs and the hecticness of life and pay attention to that, you're going to drive yourself crazy. Yeah. So
let's hear from our sponsor, Rental Resorts.
Today's traveler wants more than a hotel room. They want space, service, and experiences that feel effortless. Rental Resorts delivers all three, combining the comfort of a private home with the amenities of a world-class resort. It's a model that transforms second homes and residences into thriving hospitality assets. For owners and investors, Rental provides turnkey management, global marketing, and a guest experience that builds loyalty and drives profitability. For destinations, it means longer stays, more spending, and guests who return year after year. From family reunions to luxury getaways, Rental makes living life on vacation a reality. And that vision, backed by proven operations and powerful brand partnerships, is reshaping hospitality worldwide. Rental Resorts, where lifestyle meets performance.
that's refocusing my mind that way. But those are probably my two.
You've done F4? You're going to try to go for five?
We're done. And be that, I'm throwing it away.
All right, there you go.
You probably weren't going for 4. You're just going for number 3.
Going for 3. We were supposed to have 3 and done, and yeah,
there's the number 4.
number 4. So
Is it a boy and a girl, or
and a girl.
boy and a girl? So you got your
Boy the hard way.
There you go. You're both cool.
Yeah,
Man.
there's 3 girls, 1 boy.
Just make sure you don't end up like Dan, where he thought he was having 2 boys, and then it ended up coming out as a boy and a girl.
Oh, our brother literally found out as his wife was birthing their children
unusual.
that they were told the wrong gender.
Yeah,
crazy.
They look at the ultrasound, and I guess after a certain point, they don't really look for gender. They just look for other things as you go along, right? So first ultrasound, when they were testing for the gender, they saw 2 boys. I guess one of the babies was blocking the other one, and you can't tell by blood, with twins, obviously. Right. So, so they first thought it was 2 boys, and then the day that the babies were born, first baby that comes out is a girl. And they're all like, wait, so does it drop like after they come out? Like, how does this work? Like, what's going on? They're like, that is a girl, actually. Yeah. So it was a cool surprise, but hopefully what you're actually after.
Let's have to go on a very quick shopping spree and get lots of girl clothes.
Yeah,
Four
exactly.
girls wouldn't surprise me, so.
I'll be keeping my fingers crossed for you.
Yeah, you jinxed me. He's the one who did it, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I told him what you're
He's like, you got to join the 4 kid party, pretty much.
3 days prior, we were saying, I'm like, dude, you're going to have twins.
I swear to God, he said that to me, and I was like, don't say that.
Yep.
3 days, boom, twins.
Oh, man. I love it. You got to put it out there. Yeah. I didn't want to be lonely in the 4 kids.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Joe, what about you? Tell us a fun fact about Joe McDonald.
Joe McDonald, let me see. I don't know. Where do I start? I own the original Batmobile.
Really?
Yeah, I bought the numbers.
That is a very
Career original Batmobile signed by Burt Ward
Wow.
and Adam West. It's sitting in my house. I asked your dad if you wanted to put it in here, actually.
Oh, for real?
We should.
Yeah, it's a 66.
Does it drive?
Yeah, it does actually. Wow. It's a 66 Galaxy frame, and it's got it's got the bat phone in it, connected with a Corley wire.
That's
you know what I mean? It's great. I love that thing.
And it's street legal?
It's totally street legal.
Wow.
And it's got a PA system, and occasionally I dress up as Batman.
Okay.
No
way. You go fight crime?
By what?
Do you fight crime too?
I do.
I can see you doing that.
Yeah, my wife's a Batman. Well, then she calls herself Batgirl. He's like, that's awesome.
That's awesome, man.
We're role playing over here at the first.
I saw that. I saw it in Barrett Jackson. It was an impulse purchase. Had to buy it.
Oh, you have to get.
I bought it on my watch, actually.
There you go.
My buddy's at the auction in Arizona, and he goes, hey, and I'm actually dropping my boat in the Keys to go pick up some lobsters in the water with my son and my buddy. And we had been watching it earlier, and I'm like, it's going to go for like $2.2 million. I'm not touching this car. And I was going to buy another car, and then I got talked out of it, whatever. And all of a sudden, the Batmobile pops up, and I'm going back into my house to get a beer to go jump in the boat. It's 8 o'clock at night, and my watch rings. It's my buddy Ruben. He goes, hey, put a Barrett Jackson, a Batmobile's coming. I'm like, dude, I'm not buying this thing. It's $2 million. And I wound up picking up for like $450,000.
There you go.
That's always like, I'm like done. And he's on the phone and I'm on my watch and he's national TV as I'm bidding through him. It was great.
That's a great story.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we got to definitely see that.
Oh, it's badass.
That's cool for sure.
That's awesome.
That's cool. That's a good fun fact.
So sticking with you for a second, we just have a couple more questions here. We have audience, aspiring, entrepreneurs, people who are starting their careers up, looking for the type of success you guys have had. What's the best single piece of advice you can give to somebody today?
I think you just have to actually just do it. If you have a passion, you need to just jump on it, harness it, and just roll forward.
Yeah.
If you have an idea, look, I'm a guy, I'm entrepreneur of the year with, Hall of Fame rather with
Heisinger,
right?
With Heisinger, right? So your dad was in there as well, right? So, my thing is, if you have an idea, do something about it. 99.999% of the people don't. Yeah. Like, I came up with that idea, but they don't do anything.
They come up with all the reasons.
So that was my idea. I'm like, did you file a patent? Did you do anything about it? And people don't. If you have an idea and you have a real passion for creating something, do something about it. Vet it with your friends. If they think it's valid, get an NDA drafted. And, you could get one online easily.
Yep.
And go find an attorney and go find out if there's any competition out there. Vet it out. If it's something that's worthwhile pursuing, do it.
Yeah.
Actually do it. Just get up there and actually do something.
And on that, I mean, it's one thing to get started, but then a lot of people think, okay, it's going to be maybe a straight line once you get going.
Oh, there's no straight line, man.
Tell us about your experience with that.
There's no straight line to success. Oh, geez. Okay. So first company, I don't know. I probably spent $10 million trying to figure it out.
Wow.
But it was fun. I learned a lot.
Expensive learning lesson, right?
It's expensive learning lesson. They don't teach you that stuff in college.
Exactly.
Right. And I'm an attorney too. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah.
So I graduated top of my class. Yeah, it sounds like I'm posting myself. At St. John's in New York, back in 1990. I took the bar, passed it in New York, passed it in Florida, and never really practiced. I clerked at the appellate term in the Supreme Court in New York for 6 months, which is where I invented my first product and started my company. That was second year law school. And then third year I was in business already. But the bottom line is that, you just have to, there's no straight line of success.
Yeah.
You're going to run into roadblocks. It's either, I always say there's 3 ways to do something. It's either over the wall, through the wall, or around the wall, but you're going to get it done.
Yeah, you got to figure it out.
You know what I mean? You just got to make it happen. And then the entrepreneur that's successful, your dad and everybody, included Art and you guys, there's no, you're going to get thrown roadblocks left and right. Not everybody's going to love you. You got to build the relationships and never burn bridges. Yeah, that's another thing that I always tell people.
I agree. That's a great.
And like my grandfather told me a long time ago, we don't wait for things to happen. We make them happen.
Yeah.
And that's it. And never, ever go back on your word with anybody.
Sure, yeah.
I take a long time to make a decision, but once I make it, I don't backpedal on anything ever. I'd rather die than below, than basically break my word with people.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's great advice. I mean, you guys got to listen to that one. Artie, what about you? What's the best advice you can give somebody who's aspiring to do big things?
Sure. I would say, especially if you're getting into sales, which is what I'm in. Obviously, the easiest one you always say is just to learn how to grind hard. There's going to be ups and downs, good years, bad years. Even after almost 17 years now, I still have good years and bad years. But the biggest thing I would say,
17 years, man, you're getting older.
I know. But the biggest thing I would say is reputation. Make sure your reputation is just pristine. Yeah. Because there's going to be people out there that are doing shortcuts that you're just like, I remember when I was first starting, like, why? This is crazy. Why can't I get this? Why can't I get that? Or like whatever it may be. But if you do things the right way and you take care of your customer base, your client base, and they have that faith in you, you obviously have to have the knowledge too. But if they have that faith and trust in you and your reputation, your selling is going to have an exponential growth.
Yeah. Because
all of a sudden you'll go from grinding to a referral based business. And all of a sudden everybody's going to just be like, you have to be, your clients are going to always say, this guy is trustworthy. He's great. He's service oriented, so on and so forth. If you don't have that, you're just going to keep tripping along the whole way, or you might just wash out in general. So I would say just grind as hard, listen and learn to those who have been successful. And then just make sure that you pay attention to your reputation and your name is everything. And, you know, you can lose it in a second and it takes a long time to build it. So
That's for sure.
those are probably my two biggest things I would say.
Thanks for those insights, Ben.
Amen. And by the way, hey, how about this? Everybody says, "Oh, you're so lucky."
Oh, yeah.
You're so lucky. Oh my God, look how lucky you are.
Yeah.
You know, the luck comes from the harder work. The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah.
And that's a fact.
What do you say? What's that saying? It's like, oh yeah, it took me 20 years to get this lucky. That's right. Yeah, it's like, you know, it's you know, it seems like you're lucky when you've been here, but no, those people don't see all the failures and grinding and sweating you've done that whole time, and most people don't express it either. You never know what people's going through, so that's absolutely true.
That's part of what makes it special for an entrepreneur, though. You know, it's like, you know, you don't have to have that glory and everyone's seeing it, but you know it. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
beautiful part.
I'm going to throw one more word in: humble.
Yeah.
People. My mom always told me, "Be humble as the day is long." Right?
Yeah.
Because when you're humble, people want to help you.
100%.
You're cocky, they don't want to help.
They don't want to help you. Yeah.
They want to go back at you and
Very true.
from you.
Yeah.
Very true.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Very true.
That's actually come up on multiple episodes. So yeah.
That's for sure.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, I mean, overall today, guys, you know, we thank you guys for coming in. I just have, you know, really one last question for the both of you guys is, you know, what are your, I'll start with Artie. What are your goals? Like, where's Artie Zimmerman going with the rest of his career?
Sure. I've started to get better at, obviously I'm always in a growth goal. So every year I have, you know, a goal for myself to continually grow my business. But as that gets bigger, that gets much more difficult because there's only, you know, one person like myself that can, you know, the more clients you have, there's only so much of myself. So being able to delegate to the team that's helping manage, we call it book of business, where I can kind of just let go of that control a little bit, and basically be there for when there's real like problems that need to be helped for. Otherwise, if I'm just burning myself out that way, just doing it all, I can't grow.
Yeah.
And I come
You can't be in a million different places at once, right? So,
100%.
100%.
So I would say probably the last like 5 years more specifically, I've been trying to reformulate how I view things for growth mentality of having more faith in team members and giving them more responsibility and delegating a lot of that. And then I found that has helped me grow more because I had more freedom to go out and get more clients.
No, definitely. And, you know, we can definitely relate to that as well. I mean, you know, as you know, we started off with a BurgerFi with, you know, 20 employees probably. And then, you know, we've grown up to, you know, over 1,000 now within the company. And, you know, it's going from, you know, doing something that you're so used to doing on a daily basis and like, you know, consistently doing that every single day to getting into things that are new and managing people and so on and so forth. It, you know, it definitely brings a little bit, you know, different of a landscape that you got to get used to. But overall, that's I appreciate the insight.
Absolutely.
What about you, Joe?
My goal to be balanced.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's not working for your wife.
And I started this last business with the intentions of creating it, getting it up, and handing it off. And I'm actually been running it, managing and doing what I do. I've done for the last 4 careers actually prior. But my whole thing is I'm actually starting to pull back a little bit again. So I hired myself a president, building the right people around you. And I always say this is, you never want to be the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
I never want to. And I've been the smartest guy in the room for way too long. And I learned from the last business. I brought myself in a president of the company, and I brought in a CFO when we sold the last business, and the guy was they were rocket engineers, these guys, like really just rock stars, you know. Probably what I meant to say is rock stars, right? But right now I'm doing the same thing, right? So I'm building a team around me so I can actually kind of pull back and, you know, enjoy my life a little bit more. I actually did this one for fun.
Yeah.
To try to teach my kids.
Awesome.
I was kind of pretty well off. I really don't need to be doing anything, but I do enjoy what I'm doing. I love creating stuff, and I love moving and shaking.
The kids
it's
in
cool.
the business, or
No, one of them's neither one of my kids. Neither one of them in the business.
all right.
I learned from your dad. He said, keep your kids in their own thing. It's a great idea.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I'll actually, by the way, it's another thing is mentorship, right? So I find mentorship in everybody I meet. Like I learned something from somebody, If they do something that's really great and it's good, I follow them.
Yep.
If doing something really stupid and bad, I make sure I never do that, right? And that's why I always say you always learn from somebody. You learn from everybody
Yeah,
alive.
well, that's why you're so successful. You know, I feel like you always got to be learning and picking up the new trends. So
Thank you. No, it's I just follow these very simple kind of directions and stuff, and
awesome.
you know they're very basic to the core, but you know just kind of learn from people too.
Absolutely.
That's cool. Learning from you guys.
Yeah.
I think this is very cool, man. The first real podcast. First podcast I really ever did. I've been interviewed by one. I told you that.
I think that's the same for both of you guys. Right?
Yeah,
Am I right?
I've never done a podcast before today either. So yeah,
There you go.
I've done 4 today already. So I'm an expert at it.
You're a pro. You're the pro, man. I love it.
We look forward to continuing to collaborate, learn from each other, you know, and take things to the next level with you guys. And just want to say thank you. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Proud of you guys. All you guys. Sure, and I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. You deserve it, right?
Appreciate it. Cool. All right. It's a wrap.
Thank you.